You know, out of all the things that one could think about in terms of what threatens cities and all the things that we talk about are important, I think the biggest one is our inability to preemptively address urbanization that has yet to occur. And one way to think about it is to realize that if you took all the urbanized area of all the cities in the world today, that is only 40% of what is estimated to be urbanized. So what that means is we are effectively, in 50 or 60 years, whatever the estimates are, adding the land equivalent of Mongolia to urbanized land. Now, we know very well that we struggle very hard to make cities good with already what we have. And it's a struggle. We take a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of resources, a lot of intelligence to improve and fix what we've already got. But if people are arriving to cities and becoming part of cities faster than we can repair what we've got and add to that on top of it, it's a potential worry. It's a huge worry. And I think it's also an opportunity. And the opportunity is very particular because if we are careful, if we take all the good principles that we know about making good cities, and we are preemptive about them, which means that we say, well, we know the basic principles, and we start planning for urbanized areas that have yet to occur, but doing it right the first time, then our chances of actually helping the world are better because we're actually going to be able to avoid making the mistakes. And the danger of not doing that is that our problem that we are trying to solve about making our existing cities work better is going to be exponentially bigger. In general terms, I would say we are much better at reacting to problems than predicting them. That's one. We are just not good at prediction. We run more and more sophisticated prediction models or anticipate the future. And a lot of my work now is about actually asking the not so rhetorical question of, if you didn't know anything about the future, what would you do anyway? What kind of city would you want or have or plan for or design? And this is a much more resilient strategy than trying to predict the future. So that's one. The other way, as a sort of another way to think about it, is that there are a lot of people who have a lot of solutions. And I actually tend to think that it's kind of gone the other way, where we have too many solutions looking for problems. And that makes me really go back to the basic, is that we're not asking the right questions for many urban development issues, and that we jump too quickly to what we think will fix the problem, when actually we don't understand the problem well enough to begin with. So if we go back to the basics and we sort of ask ourselves in a more deeper sort of way, what's really going to fix a particular environment? And we say, well, it's not a design issue, maybe it's an economic or an employment issue, or maybe it's a social reinforcement issue, or it's basically figuring out, you know, you have to stabilize rents, or you have to keep people where they are, or you have to help them reposition themselves, both the hard and the soft infrastructure. Then sometimes those issues are, if you address those, then your design and planning interventions are actually probably going to be a lot more resilient. It's a great place to meet committed people, all people who are deeply rooted in their individual capacities and roles of caring about cities. And when you go to some event like this, particularly the World City Summit, the concentration of talent and skills and wisdom, if you will, and knowledge, is all the more deeper. So that's a very wonderful sort of thing, because all the people who are here in one way or another are dealing with what I call the big hairy problems. And they don't have easy solutions, and we shouldn't assume that there are easy solutions out there. So it's very, very good for me at least to actually have this interaction with people who care. And I always walk away learning a little bit and hopefully giving a little bit back too.